You're listening to SaskScapes, a podcast featuring the stories of arts, culture, and heritage in Saskatchewan. Yes, to be a kid again. Children have this amazing way of being creative with the simplest of materials and get lost in amazing stories. This is most certainly the case with the kids you'll hear in today's episode. I'm Kevin Power. Join me at the Mann Gallery in Prince Albert, where every summer art, music, and drama come to life in week-long camps for kids. I was lucky to be here on the final presentation day of the art camp week and had a front row seat to the laughter and antics of the plays the kids work so hard on creating. Under the skillful guidance of Julie, Kayanna, and the gallery educator Lana Wilson, this was just plain fun. And wait until you hear the funny and profound comments that come from these young minds. So roll up your sleeves, get messy with some paints and crayons, and enjoy the podcast. All right, let's start. First of all, let's talk to you. Who are you?
Callie.
Callie, here we are at the Mann Gallery in Prince Albert, and we're at the kids' art camp, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me how old you are.
I'm 9 years old.
And is this your first year at the art camp?
Yes.
Okay, and what do you think so far? How far into the art camp are you?
Not really.
Sort of like halfway?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not quite done yet.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so what's the best part about being part of the art camp?
Drawing and that stuff.
Okay.
And all like the projects we do.
Okay, tell me about your favorite project so far.
The costumes.
Right, that's what we're doing today, right? Now, when did you start making your costumes?
About on the first 2 days ago.
Okay, and so you knew that you were going to do a play, and does your play have a theme?
Yes, it's like a Cinderella mixed with other fairy tales.
Okay, you're blonde. Let me guess, you're going to be Cinderella.
No.
No? Okay. Who are you going to be today?
The mean stepsister and the prince.
The mean stepsister and the prince. Mm-hmm. Wow, you're very, very talented. Is this the first time you've acted in a play?
No.
No? Do you have plays at school?
Yes.
What parts have you played in plays at school?
Let's see. I'm trying to think of one.
Like, what's the biggest part you've played in school?
About Little Red Riding Hood.
You played Little Red?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my. Wow, so you got to go to Grandma's house.
Yeah.
But Grandma kind of wasn't there, right?
No.
Well, at least you weren't the wolf. The wolf's the mean one.
Mm-hmm.
So today you're going to be playing, remind me who again? You're going to be playing the prince and that's right, the wicked stepsister. Mm-hmm. Now, did you decide that you were going to play the wicked stepsister and the prince?
No, she did.
You decided for her. Okay.
I decided to be a prince.
I see. Very democratic process we have going on here, otherwise known as a dictatorship, right? You'll learn all about that later. Okay, and so what does your day look like when you come to art camp? You're here not every day, right?
Yeah, like not every day, but this is my first week.
Oh, this is your first week?
Yeah.
So you come in here and you start when, at 9 o'clock? I
come mostly like at 8.
Oh, okay, you get here early. All right, and then you go until noontime, right?
Yeah.
And then you go home.
And then I go into my trailer.
Oh, you go into your trailer. Mm-hmm. And is that because it's a long weekend and it's going to be camping?
No, I don't really go camping with my family. It's because right now my house is getting fixed up, so I'm living in a trailer in my yard.
How's that? Does it feel like you're camping out?
Sometimes, but there's a TV, a refrigerator pop, and that stuff, so it doesn't really feel like camping.
Right.
Well,
and the internet too, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't get by without that. Now, were you born in Prince Albert?
Well, I was born in one of the hospitals in Prince Albert.
Okay.
And then my sister was born in a car.
Your sister was born in a car? Wow, how come?
Well,
She doesn't like hospitals?
actually, she loves the hospital. She's there right now with my mom.
Okay, but she was born in a car because your mom couldn't quite make it to the hospital?
Well, we couldn't, but then we went to the hospital after she was born.
Oh, okay. So did you name her something cool like Buick or Dodge?
No, we named her Hannah.
Oh, good. So she wasn't named after a car.
No.
Right. But do you live in Prince Albert now or just outside of Prince Albert?
I live across from her house.
Okay.
So
But
we
where's
live
that?
outside of Birch Hill, so we
Birch Hills?
yeah, so on the Northern Light Road.
Okay. Is that far from here?
Like a half an hour,
Half an hour?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Tell me something. I keep hearing that Prince Albert is called the Gateway City. How come?
No idea.
Is there like a big gate here?
I don't know.
No. Is it because, well, let's see. We'll find, I think I know the answer, but I'll find out today if I can get answers from one of the kids on what the real reason is. Okay? All right. Now let's talk to your neighbor here. You are?
Nova.
Nova. What a great name. How old are you, Nova?
I'm 9.
Okay. And is this your first year at art camp?
Yes.
What do you think so far?
It's pretty fun.
Yeah. What's the most enjoyable part of this for you?
I get to do art stuff.
Like drawing?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you get to make a big mess. That's got to be kind of fun. And you probably don't have to clean up afterwards, right?
No, we have to.
Oh, you do? Oh, that's very responsible of the camp.
A little bit.
Okay. And what's happening today?
We're having a play.
Okay, and you started making your costumes a couple of days ago as well?
Yes.
And were you told who you were going to be, or did you get to decide?
I got to decide.
And so what did you decide?
I decided her, and we decided to do a Cinderella story.
Okay, so are you playing Cinderella?
Yes.
Right on. And are you playing anybody else besides Cinderella?
I'm playing a maid.
Okay. What about the good, the fairy godmother that comes and helps? Are you going to have one of those?
No.
Oh dear. I thought she was kind of pivotal to the story of Cinderella.
Well, we're kind of just making, in it, we're trying to, be better persons and have a decision instead of having an end where the sisters have to do dirty work. We're trying to make it so in the end it's actually really happy.
Oh, so there's sort of a bit of a different moral to this.
Yes.
That's kind of very peacekeeping of you. So you also live in Birch Hills, and were you born in Prince Albert, or were you born there?
I was born in Prince Albert.
Okay, and do you have an arts program in your school in Birch Hills?
No.
No? You don't have any art or any theater or any music?
Well, we have, art school and stuff. Well, we have dance, we have plays in school.
Yeah, so, and do you take dance classes as well?
I used to, but now I don't.
You don't have to whisper, kiddo. You can talk out loud.
Okay. There's also a skating. However, she's in and I'm in the dance center.
Skating? Mm-hmm. You both skate?
No, I used to.
Oh, okay. And then you fell down and decided better not?
I did fall down a lot without helmets, but...
Oh, okay. All right. Are there other really cool arts things that happen that you can participate in Birch Hills or in Prince Albert?
There's a drama, thing in the dance center, but yeah.
What about this? There's an art center next door to here, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you go to that? Are there plays there?
Yes.
Yeah?
There's plays.
Can you remember anything you've seen there?
There's been school trips. Yeah, we went to the CPA plays. There has been Peter Pan and a whole bunch of different places.
Right? This year was Peter Pan.
And then we've seen, what was the last one? Peter Pan was so serious. I think one of them was Beauty and the Beast for sure.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And is one of your class trips to the gallery here?
Only to like the plays. We never actually like been in this part.
Okay.
But, like we dance here.
You dance here?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is your first time here, right?
No, I've been here before because I've danced here before.
But I mean in the art camp?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So do you think it's a pretty cool program?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What would either of you or both of you say to kids that are listening to this who think, I don't know if I would be talented enough to come and be part of an arts camp? Do you think they should?
Yeah. Yeah.
How come? Give me your best sales pitch on why kids should come to the arts camp. Hey, it's Kevin. I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. Just a quick reminder that the SaskScapes podcast is available for free on your favorite podcast app, or you can stream it from your browser. Check out the show notes for the link. On the SaskScapes homepage, you'll notice something new under the logo called SaskScapes Plus. You can't miss it. There's a big button saying support with a heart icon next to it. I'd love it if you could click on that button and help keep this podcast series going. When SaskScapes launched in May 2014, it was the first podcast in the province celebrating arts, culture, and heritage. In fact, you'd have been pretty hard-pressed to find any Saskatchewan podcasts. So I'd like to think that we paved the way. It's been because of your support that this podcast is now in its 9th year. Okay, that's it. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
Because like it's mostly every week. Next week I think it's music camp, and like it's 5 days. And
but what's so important about art? Why do art?
Because it's important. You'll need to learn how to do it one day.
Okay. But is it important to be creative? I mean, you could go to math camp.
Yeah, it's important to be creative because almost everything in the world is by artists. Because there's everything. Furniture is by artists and different stuff. Architectural art.
Architecture, yeah, that's true. That's really true. So back to the play that you're doing today. Do you have a script that you had to memorize, or you're just making it up as you go along?
Well, we practiced a lot at her grandma's house.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm. We kind of have a script. Like in the beginning, we have a little bit of script, and that end we kind of do. Because but our songs are kind of just off our head. Yeah. Because we have a few songs in it.
Okay. What happens next week? Does art camp continue, or is this the very last day of it?
It's music camp next week, but it's not like anymore today.
Okay.
So yeah, it's our last day. Mm-hmm. This is the last day.
So are you going to come to music camp, either of you?
No, we're busy.
You're busy. Ooh, yeah. Busy lives. What are you busy doing next?
I'm going to go to Calgary on a plane to go see my cousins.
Fun. Have you been on a plane before?
Yes, a lot when I was a baby.
Oh, wow. But you probably don't remember much about it.
No.
What are you going to do when you're done here?
I'm going camping.
Oh, fun. Where are you going to go camping?
Struthers Lake.
Okay. How far is that from here?
About like an hour.
Okay. First time going there? Do you go there every summer?
We go there about every summer.
Okay. What's your favorite thing to do when you go camping?
Probably go swimming and be with my family.
That's fun. Well, I'm looking forward to the play. Do I have to buy tickets?
No.
Oh, good.
But you can if you want.
And let me guess, if I do, I pay you directly.
Yes.
You're very, very smart, but I'm not going to fall for it.
Shoot.
Okay, well, let's go back inside, and I'll look forward to seeing your play.
Thank you. Thanks. Story isn't like any Cinderella story. It's called Cindy and Ella.
What happens to the mean sister, though?
Oh, she does.
We don't mean the rest of it. Oh, we're on the last scene?
Yeah, we have one. Okay. Take on the inside.
What crest are you making, Logan?
Hyrule.
A what?
Hyrule Shield.
What's that?
It's from the Legend of Zelda. Lana would know what it was, but...
Oh. But is that something of significance in Saskatchewan?
No.
Who cares about rules, right?
Yeah.
This is your first art camp, huh?
No. I've been to 2 others.
Here?
Yes.
Oh, so you're a pro.
No. Well, I am a pro at making costumes, just not because I made a superhero costume. Superhero camp, and now I've made this one.
You had a superhero camp?
Yeah, last year.
Who did you get to be?
It was a custom-made guy. The name of I was gonna name it Lord Logan, but then I decided to do Star-Lord. And then my main villain's name was Star-Lord too. So.
If you could have a superpower as a superhuman, what would it be?
Most likely super speed.
Super speed.
Yeah.
For me, just remember
Okay,
to
so
put
being-
in contact.
Yeah, super speed.
Who's your favorite real superhero?
In DC, probably Flash.
I like Iron Man.
Yeah, and then in Marvel, my favorite character probably would be. That's very hard.
If there's one that's
And in DC, I'm struggling between Flash and Batman.
Oh yeah, Batman's pretty cool. If Saskatchewan had a superhero, what do you think he or she would be? Maybe
Captain or Mrs. Leaf.
Captain Mrs. Leaf?
Yeah, or something like that. With the power to transform into like trees and stuff.
Oh yeah, then you could hide on a farm and nobody would know you were a superhero.
Yeah.
Is that a new one?
All right. Now we're with Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi.
So tell me about yourself. How old are you?
8.
Okay, and were you born in Prince Albert?
I was born in Yorkton.
Oh, in Yorkton. That's a
Yeah.
nice town, but not very near Prince Albert. How did you wind up here?
Well, my parents moved here.
Oh, yeah, okay. And is this your first year at art camp?
Second year.
Second year. And what do you think? How did this year work out for you?
Pretty good.
Tell me about who you were in the play we just saw.
I was like Rapunzel, the mother of Princess White.
Yeah, and you had like a really, really, really long hair.
Yeah.
And somebody tripped over that hair.
Mm-hmm.
Who tripped over it?
Logan.
Logan tripped over it, that's right. So that hair became a weapon for you.
Then he was like, "Hey, I almost did the splits." That actually was in the rehearsal, and that was actually real. He actually almost did the splits.
Oh, wow. Can
Yeah.
you do the splits?
Never in my dreams could I do that.
Okay. So what has been your favorite part of the camp this week?
Well, I would say everything.
Everything, right on. Are you always this energetic? Did you start off pretty shy at the beginning of this week?
No, I'm always just like free and meeting people. I'm always just like this.
That's a pretty great way to be. So tell me, when you're not at art camp, what else do you do that's really creative?
Well, I do lots and lots of art. I design clothing, and I made this really cool dress.
Oh, yeah? Made out of fabric?
Yeah.
Can you wear it to school? Like, is it?
No, I'm still at the level 1 of designer level.
Okay.
I'm thinking of being like a biologist or something like that.
Oh, a biologist. That's very different than designing. What fascinates you about biology?
Well, I based my whole life on nature.
You base your whole life on nature. Tell me about that.
Well,
What does
ever
that mean?
since I was little, I've been touching bugs, not caring if people say, "Ew, Rebecca, that's gross," or not caring about all of the people. Well, I care about them, but not caring what they say mean to me about all of the all the like nature-y things I do. When I was little, I used to suck on grass in my daycare.
How come? What made you think of sucking on grass?
Well, I like the white parts like of the roots, so I was eating.
Do you live on a farm? Because I was thinking maybe you saw cows eating grass and thought it would be fun.
Well, I just think it's a little appetizing.
Well, that's quite fascinating. Then you'll never have to worry about starving if you're out in nature.
Now I know that sometimes now I know that I shouldn't eat grass because I never know if they put like fertilizer on it.
Oh, right. That's probably a safe way to be. And at school, do you have creative things like plays and dance class and stuff like that?
I do like music class, gym, and arts. Every Wednesday is arts.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's your favorite artistic thing to do? Paint, draw?
Well, my like artistic thing is like to make like 3D shapes, like they pop out.
Oh, yeah?
One time I made me jumping off of a diving board in a cardboard, like a bendy paper thing, and my dad loved it.
Wow, that's so cool. Tell me, now that you live in Prince Albert, do you know why they call this the Gateway City?
I never even heard that they call it the Gateway City.
No? Yeah, they do. I thought maybe you might know. Trying to find the answer to that question. Maybe not. All right, do you want to switch places with Alex while I talk to him? Alex, how are you?
Good.
So, how old are you?
I am 9.
9. And you live here in Prince Albert?
Yes.
You've lived here all your life?
Yes.
Okay, and so today in the play, you were a troll.
Yes.
All right, now, this is not your first art camp, I understand.
No.
How many have you done so far?
3 this year, and last year I did about 4.
Wow, so you're really busy. So why do you come to art camp? There's so many different kinds of camps that you can choose to go to.
Because art camp is fun, and I really like it.
Okay, so what part of art camp is the best experience for you?
Painting, drawing, learning how to use like charcoal.
Yeah. And the play as well? Like, is the acting and making costumes fun?
Yes.
Did you decide to be a troll?
Yes.
So what's it about trolls that fascinate you?
It's just nobody really did anything in the play that was like evil or like a bad guy.
Oh,
so
you like the bad guy. How come?
Because they get to do lots of stuff.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, everybody likes to hate the bad guy. Yeah. So when you're not at art camp, what other artistic things do you do at school?
I do lots of music.
Yeah? Do you play an instrument?
I play over 4.
Over 4 instruments?
Yes.
What are they?
The guitar, the drums, the piano, the melodeon, and the recorder. And I'm going to do the oboe.
Wow. That's very musical of you. So you must have a pretty big music program in your school.
Oh, yeah.
And do you take private lessons as well?
Yeah.
What's the melodeon?
The melodeon it's like a piano, except it's smaller like this. And then you have to like blow through this tube, and then that's how it makes the sound.
Right. Wow. So you've been probably playing those for a while now, huh?
Yeah.
That's excellent. How creative are you? What do you think you'd like to be when you grow up, since you're so creative?
A musician.
A musician, a professional musician. Oh, no, that's interesting. A musician or a nurse? What would it be about nursing that would fascinate you?
It's just my dad is a nurse.
Oh, your dad's a nurse?
I really want to be.
Oh, wow. Do you get to go to the hospital and do volunteer stuff?
No, but I go to the hospital to watch him do stuff.
And it doesn't make you nervous to see needles and things like that?
No.
Wow, you're brave. I don't like them. Well, that's a pretty cool profession to be, a nurse. Wow, good. Well, I hope you get to be both. I hope you get to be a musician and a nurse. Maybe you could be a musical nurse and sing to your patients.
Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Is this your brother Grayson over here?
Yes.
Because you kind of look a lot alike. Hey, Grayson, you want to come over and talk to me? What? You want to come over and talk to me? You want to switch places with Alex? Okay. Yeah, you can sit there. Grayson, how are you?
Good.
How old are you?
7.
And you're Alex's brother.
Yep.
Yeah. And is this your first art camp?
Nope, my 3rd.
It's your 3rd art camp.
Yes.
So you started art camp when you were like 4 years old. Because that would be 3 years. Or have you done 3 in...
Oh, yeah, 3 weeks, I mean.
Oh, 3 weeks. Oh, okay. Oh, so you're a pro. You're a pro at that. That's your first year, but your 3rd week. What's been your favorite part over the 3 weeks?
Doing painting. I'm doing, like, cool stuff.
Yeah. What about the play today? Did you like that? Did you get to choose your character? And who did you play?
The knight.
You played a knight in shining armor. You had really shiny armor, didn't you? And you made that all by yourself? How'd you make your sword? What was your sword made out of?
Cardboard and tinfoil.
That's pretty resourceful. What do you like about living in Prince Albert? What's your favorite thing about being here? Like, where's a really cool... If I say this is my first time in Prince Albert and I want to go see a really cool site that everybody goes to see, what should I see?
A museum.
What do you like about the museum?
Looking at stuff.
Yeah? So this art camp ends today, huh? Then what are you going to do?
Go next week.
There's another one next week?
Yep, music camp.
Oh, music camp. So will that be your first time in music camp? And will you have to know how to play an instrument to go to music camp? No? Do you think you'll learn one?
I know how to play the piano.
You know how to play the piano?
And the guitar, some notes.
Oh, yeah? Is Alex helping you with that?
No, my dad, he plays the guitar.
Oh, your dad plays guitar. That's neat. Your dad's a nurse. Yeah? What do you think you'd like to do when you grow up?
Be a lawyer.
Be a lawyer? Why lawyer?
Because my mom's a lawyer.
Your mom's a lawyer. So you and your brother both like to follow in your parents' footsteps and do. Does your mom enjoy being a lawyer? Do you get to go sometimes to work with her? Have you seen her office? Oh, that's pretty cool. Wow, I hope you get to be a lawyer. That's a pretty cool job. Is just you and Alex in your family? Any other kids?
My baby sister.
Baby sister. She must be really young because you're only 7.
Yep, she's almost 2. She's 1 and a half.
Oh, wow. Wow. I wonder what she'll be when she grows up.
A singer. She likes
Does she like to sing? Oh, yeah, she likes to dance and sing? That's cool. Well, listen, I think there's going to be some more activities in the art room there, and I don't want to hold you up. So thank you for talking to me, and thank you for being so entertaining in the play.
You're welcome.
I hope you're enjoying this episode. Did you know that all episodes of SaskScapes can be downloaded or streamed for free? You can find us in the iTunes Store, on Stitcher Radio, and at iHeartCulture.ca. And I'm so excited to announce that SaskScapes now has its own app for both Apple and Android devices. Head over to the App Store or Google Play and have SaskScapes at your fingertips with just one easy tap. Remember, we love hearing from you with your feedback in the review section. And now, back to the podcast. I am with some grown-ups at the art camp. Kids at heart, though, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Right. And you are the interns at the art camp, right?
Yeah.
And so let's start with you. You are?
I'm Julie Mills.
Julie. And this is not your first year as an intern here.
No, this is actually my 3rd year working at the Mann Gallery. Okay. And always doing the summer education programs.
Right. So are you involved in all of the camps that happen?
Yeah. We kind of get here before school's out for kids because we're university students. So that gives us a chance to do some planning and get everything organized, and so that we have a summer's worth of programming to do.
Right. Sitting beside you is...
I'm Kayanna Wirtz, and I have the same job as her.
And not your first year either, right?
No, this is also my third year, but the first year I worked as a collections assistant, so I worked in the back, which is the vault with the permanent collection. And then,
the vault.
Yes. And then this is now my second year doing the camps.
Tell me what you're both studying at university. It's got to be something creative.
Yeah, in fact it is. I study painting in BC at Emily Carr University of Art and Design. So yeah, next year I'll be graduating with my Bachelor of Visual Arts, BVA. Yeah.
I want your glasses.
Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of been a passion of mine for a long time, but I studied in Prince Albert at the University of Saskatchewan for 1 year, and then I went to Vancouver.
So what medium are you working in?
Mostly acrylics and oils, but I work pretty fast, so acrylic kind of lends itself to that nice quick drying time. So.
Right. Were you influenced by anybody growing up that sort of made an impression on you artistically?
Yeah, well, definitely the first year that I stayed here after high school, I studied drawing with George Glenn, who's a local Prince Albert artist. And though it wasn't painting, that was pretty developmental, if that's a word. Yeah. Yeah. And I also studied for a long time with Christina Thoen here in Prince Albert, who's a local art teacher. And yeah, she's a very inspirational energetic lady, so that probably lent to a lot of the progression of my interest in art, I guess.
So what's the goal from here once you graduate?
I'm hoping to do a master's, maybe in Montreal, we'll see, but definitely continue painting, but maybe curatorial jobs down the line, open a gallery, we'll see.
So every summer then you leave Vancouver and come back here?
Yeah, that's right. I come back home to stay with my family and work here because it's a pretty great job, and I'm lucky to have a job in my field. So yeah, and I love the Mann Gallery. It's a great thing to be growing in Prince Albert for sure. So, did
you grow up coming to the gallery when you were a kid?
No, because this...
It's fairly, it's not that old, is it?
No, it came out of the gallery, the Little Gallery, I think it used to be called, and the old City Hall Art Center on Central. And then when they got this new space, they kind of split with them and started, they both still exist, but they're separate galleries now.
And you are studying?
I just finished my first year arts and science, obviously, at the U of S. I'm hoping to go into education eventually, but yeah, just arts and science for right now.
So what's the pleasure in running these arts camps? You've got these high energy kids, but you seem to be incredibly organized as far as how the program, or maybe it's an illusion. But what is it that's so enjoyable for you?
Well, pretty much I just get to play and do crafts all summer and call it a job. I mean, lots of my friends work like manual labor jobs, or, they work like long hours and that kind of thing. And this is really great hours. It's an awesome job. I don't dread going to work. It's like, I'm just going to go to work and play for a while.
Right. Do either of you see kids that start the week out incredibly introverted and by the end have really, really transformed because of the creative process?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's especially the younger ones often who come without a sibling or without any friends they know in the class. You can tell by the end of the week they come out of their shell and they're playing with everyone and they're trying to show you all the things they made and stuff. It's really exciting to see them go from these quiet little...
Yeah, I think everyone starts out the week like a little bit quieter and a little bit unsure. And then as soon as they kind of get to know the rest of the group, we do lots of like icebreaker games at the beginning. And as soon as you finish those, it's like a whole new group of kids. Now they're bouncing off the walls.
Since you're both either studying or have a summer job in creative fields, what do you think it is that about creativity on any level that's just kids throw themselves into it with complete unabandoned, shameless kind of whatever. And they can turn the most mundane object into something creative and spin a whole story around it. Why do you think we lose that as we get older? All of a sudden,
I think lots of older people are just like really scared to get things wrong, whereas kids are like, they don't care. They're like, if I get it wrong, whatever, it's not a big deal. Whereas I think a lot of adults, I don't know, they don't like being wrong. They want to like take it slow and like step by step and ask people for help instead of just jumping in and doing what they think is right.
Right. Right.
Makes a big difference.
I don't know if we technically lose that. We're just afraid.
A little more reserved with
to
it.
show it.
Maybe as we grow up, our inner critic grows up, and then all of a sudden we think, well, I'm always talking to people and they say, well, I'd like to be creative, but I just think if I show anybody it, they'll just think it's stupid. Yeah. I don't know when that message kind of gets into our psyche.
Well, we also have a lot of kids who say, "Oh, I'm no good at drawing." Like, "Oh, I don't want to do this because I'm not good at that." And I'm like, "Well, do you hear like Mozart on the radio right now? Because we play CBC every morning." And I'm like, "Do you think he just sat at the piano and started playing and sounded like this?"
Sadly, he actually pretty much did.
Well, you're not a creative genius right off the bat from when you were 3, right? So it takes time and work. Most normal people need to practice to get good.
Right. What are the challenges in running these kinds of camps?
I find that definitely the time constraint becomes a challenge because we also do programming in the afternoons. We go to visit old folks' homes and do crafts with them. We do different things. So there's some afternoons that we don't get the time to clean up and prep for the next day. And those days don't run as smoothly all the time. Because I find it's a lot easier if you have all your supplies laid out, ready to go, so that, when kids finish early, you already have the next craft ready. And it takes a lot of organization to make it run smooth.
Right. That's interesting. So do you see any similarities between running an arts camp for kids and then going off and doing arts and crafts with seniors? Are seniors at a point where they're almost childlike in their shamelessness to be creative?
I find that a lot of the seniors are a lot more hesitant to do crafts. A lot of them are like, oh no, I'm not a painter. So they won't do it. Whereas kids, you give them a paintbrush and they'll try it even if they don't necessarily like painting.
Right.
Sometimes it's more of
There's that trepidation there where they're like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. Am I doing this the way I'm supposed to? So they have that ingrained in them a little bit, especially the generation we're working with.
Right. Yeah. Do the kids get to go and mix with the seniors at all?
Not through our program.
No. But I think that lots of the homes do have that happen, just not through us. They do it with classes and schools that they kind of have associations with. In Shellbrook, where we go to the seniors' home there, they have
a really good program there. Yeah, they definitely.
Yeah, and they always get classes to come and do an activity along with the seniors. So I think they get paired up with somebody and work together.
So answer the question for me, why is Prince Albert called the Gateway City?
Well,
because none of the kids knew.
Oh, well, we have this bridge that leads to the north. Yes. So that makes us kind of the last big city stop on the way up there. And we try to be a big, I think, growing cultural community so that there's a reason for people to kind of have things to do and stop by and appreciate what we have to offer on the way to the lake, or if they decide they want to stay here for a while, we have.
Saskatchewan is littered with artists. What do you think it is about this province that inspires artists so much? Or what is it that inspires you guys so much to stay here? Well, you're currently in Vancouver, but if you were to choose, could you see yourself being artistic in your field and staying in Saskatchewan?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love being in a bigger center right now while I'm kind of developing and learning about Canadian and international art, but I think I'm most productive when I'm at home here because that kind of minute of silence and to think is really what breeds ideas. And I think in the prairies we've got so much space and the winter is so cold. It just breeds creativity, I think.
Right. Sure. What about you? Why do you stay Why do you stay here? What is it about Saskatchewan that you really like?
Well, I've always grown up in PA. Like my whole life I've lived here. It's kind of just a place to come back, and it's home. It's comfortable. I like know everything. I know everyone. It's just kind of like there's the only way to get out of your comfort zone is like push yourself creatively, because there's nothing else here that's really new and exciting.
Right.
But yeah, and I definitely love Saskatoon a lot more for creativity. I find that it has a really strong like art scene and music scene, culture scene. And I really want to try and like bring that back to PA, build it here.
Uh-huh. You gonna make it to the Fringe in Saskatoon?
Yeah.
It started last night.
Did it?
Oh, did it? Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Borealis is happening this weekend, though, so hopefully everyone in Saskatoon will come to Prince Albert and then go back for the Fringe.
Here's hoping. That's the reason why I came up here initially until I found out about you guys. So you guys are going to be there?
That's
Yeah,
good.
we're actually, the Mann Art Gallery is kind of doing stuff there also. We've done all these banners that we're calling the Community Canvas
Oh yeah,
project.
tell me about this.
So we had all these drapes actually from the Besbro from when they did a change of drapery a while back. We got them at an auction, and we stripped the blackout material from them. And so it's a nice thick fabric that we've used, and we've hung along all the fences outside of the Borealis Festival site.
Because it's dividing up the Kinsman Park, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's screening in the festival, but it's also going to be a community art canvas. So it's bring your own paints and you can paint them. Mm-hmm. They're all just up there.
Wow. And so that will start tonight with the festival?
Yeah, as long as
they're all up already. So people can start painting whenever. They say paint me on them. So some of them do.
And the weather proves to be good, so it's not going to wash away in the rain.
Stays nice. Yeah.
And it's like a nice kind of setting also if like graffiti artists want to come out and show off some of their work during the festival.
That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah, we're open to whatever people want to do to get involved.
There are some local musicians that are playing. Do you know any of them?
Yeah. Well, Rose is our friend Joel Rose.
Yeah. I graduated a year before him, so I went to high school with him.
And his older brother, Josh Rose, is in the band Susan, who's playing a few shows as well. And I kind
of playing at the after hours stage or club thing.
Yeah, lots of the bands and smaller bands in Saskatoon that are up and coming have lots of PA people in them. So it's kind of nice to see them being able to play in PA. So that's great.
Who are you most looking forward to seeing?
July Talk, the headliner, because I heard that they kind of pulled some big strings to get them in. So I'm excited for that.
Well, thanks you guys for letting me in on your little world here.
Thanks for coming.
You're amazingly patient with these kids, and kids are a tough audience. You can't phone it in with them. You've got to be present the whole time.
I think they're excited to have you here too. It's nice to have a new audience member, especially for a
I like
play.
to put on a show for other people.
Did you see how wound up they were? So they love performing.
So I am now with Lana Wilson, who's the head honcho in the education department here at the Mann Gallery. So Lana was kind enough to invite me to come to the arts camp. But on the whole, tell me about your job description here.
I have a pretty broad job description in some ways, but you can say I can joke and say that I'm head of public programs, by which I mean that throughout most of the year, except during the summers when our staff doubles, I am public programs. And so gallery educator is a position that requires the designing and coordination and delivery of the Imagine Arts visual art education program. And that's what we call all of the education programs that happen at the gallery. It's a 10-point program. We have a variety of activities. There is community outreach at celebrations and different events. We have an inclusivity mandate, and so we deliver programming for groups that have special needs or requests for adults, children, and youth with differing abilities or special needs. We deliver outreach programs to seniors in care homes. We have the Gallery School Tour program that accounts for quite a lot of the participation during the school year here at the gallery, where teachers from the different high school and elementary schools, both in Prince Albert and in the surrounding area, book visits with us. The gallery tour program is a 90-minute visit where we tour the gallery, we have discussions about the work that's currently on display, and we always do a hands-on art making activity, at least one per visit, sometimes some shorter activities as well, to give a hands-on art making experience that helps to enhance the learning and the discussions to accompany the current exhibitions. In the summer, we do face painting as a fundraiser for the Imagine Arts program. We do professional artist development for our members through a series of workshops, art workshops, but also some of the CARFAC programs from CARFAC National and CARFAC Saskatchewan, talking about the business of being an artist, talking about marketing, talking about copyright issues, exhibition schedules, preparing exhibition application packages and artist statements. There's quite a wide variety. And community exhibitions. The Imagine Arts education program for the past 4 years has had a high school juried art show that happens every spring in the gallery. We do give out a variety of cash prizes for the students of the different high schools that send their artwork into us. And in the past, we've had some other community exhibitions as well, some exhibitions of seniors art or things created by some of our other program participants. So
wow, that's a full year.
It is a full year, exactly. Yeah, making sure that the programs happen, making contacts with other groups within the community, designing and delivering the programs themselves.
This is not your first year in this position.
It is absolutely my first year.
It is your first year.
I moved here at the end of November 2014.
You moved from where?
Moved from Saskatoon. Been living in Saskatoon for, I think, probably the past 8 or 9 years, and enjoying my time in Saskatoon. Beautiful city, but I'm originally from southwestern Manitoba.
All right. Oof. Southwestern Manitoba.
So that's an hour out of Brandon.
Just not far from where that terrible tornado touched down for 3 hours.
Absolutely. My hometown was under a tornado watch. Born and raised in Hamiota, Manitoba. So just an hour out of Brandon there. And yeah, for many years, my grandma lived in Virden, Manitoba, and it was just outside of Virden that massive wedge tornado touched down. And so, yeah, I was pretty worried about my family members. My parents spend the summer camping at Shoal Lake, and I had visions of upended trailers in all of those parks.
So are you from Hamiota?
I am from Hamiota.
Okay, well, this is what happens with the podcast series, is that worlds collide.
Yeah.
I've just been in Rocanville at the Rocanville Museum Market, where one of my most charming guests was a man named Andrew, who's from Scotland, who now lives in Hamiota and makes shortbread.
What?
And they're called Hamiota shortbread by yeah.
Really?
And that's how I came to know about Hamiota.
Well, this is new. I have not heard of Andrew and his shortbread, but I'm going to have to ask my parents tonight.
He's likely the only Irishman in Hamiota.
I'm sure I am.
And believe me, you can't mistake his accent.
That is priceless. No, when I was growing up, there's only about 800 people in Hamiota. I think the town has grown. We probably have at least 1,000 people there now. But.
Well, tell everybody about it, because it's really good shortbread. I can attest to the fact that it was gone in our house after I brought some back in less than a week.
Yeah.
So this is your first first year in this position.
Is my first year
your
in this
background is you've got a Bachelor of Fine Arts and a Master of Fine Arts.
I have spent 10 years of my life in post-secondary education studying art history.
Okay, all right.
And so I did do a BFA, a honors degree in art history at the University of Manitoba. Started there in the fall of 2000, and eventually wound up getting my Master of Arts, again with distinction in art history from Queen's University at Kingston, and finally wrapped that thesis up in 2010.
Okay, so you've been a professional student. Right.
That was my decade in art history. Absolutely. Enjoying it very much so. But trying to decide exactly how I wanted to apply that knowledge that I had and find my niche in the job market in arts and culture. Always wanted to work in galleries and museums. I love research. You have to pry me out of the library. You have to physically remove the research books from my hand to force me to write that thesis. But I love talking, right? I love talking to people about art. I love hearing what they have to tell me about art. And I have always been a person who has constantly been making things with my hands. And I don't have a professional studio practice, but I have a million projects on the go, and my apartment right now is functioning more as a studio than as a living space. And this position, finding out and having the opportunity at the Mendel in Saskatoon for almost the past 2 years as a casual program guide there, was absolutely fantastic. And I had a chance to really learn about the role of gallery educators and the important part that they play. And I feel that I've found a niche where I want to be now and a place that I can grow in. I can use my hands-on knowledge, and I can use all of the pieces of information that I've spent a lot of time studying in art history to help find points of engagement with other people in the gallery.
So tell me, in all your years of studying art history, and since you're bookish and love research, who would you say is one of our most influential artists in Saskatchewan, or certainly one that influences you?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I really began being quite overwhelmed by the number of artists and the variety of media that artists have been creating here in Saskatchewan since I first started working in this province back in 2003. I've been learning a lot of things. That's an excellent question.
Sorry, I don't mean to put you on spot.
I was just going to say that's never one that you necessarily want to commit to.
Okay, right.
Oh, that's a tough one. I know that certainly you have the names of some of the really big landscape painters, right? I really do admire the work of Dorothy Knowles, of Winona Mulcaster, of Mina Forsyth. Really fantastic work going on there. The Winona Mulcaster show that we had a couple of months ago here at the Mann Art Gallery really helped me to begin appreciating some of the subtleties of the way that people have been handling this landscape, and then some of the power and the energy that can be brought to it. I'm kind of intrigued by the idea that we did have such a following of the American Modernist School here at Emma Lake. I had not heard of Emma Lake before I moved to Saskatchewan, and immediately got a crash course in that, and certainly find that kind of really interesting and curious. These ideas of how things like the abstraction of New York was kind of, working within or outside of some of the landscape painting traditions that some artists that were prominent teachers here had brought over from Britain or from Scotland. And some of those, like the Gus Kenderdine traditions, is kind of interesting. There's so many artists practicing now that I've had the privilege of meeting and assisting in some ways in Saskatoon and now here in Prince Albert that I'm pretty excited to meet as well. I think Emily Atkins has some amazing video work that I've been really inspired. I never cease to be inspired by her video works every time I see them, and some of her design work there. That's a person that I've had a privilege of working with just a little bit, just helping out on a project here and there. But some of the other things, the Sound Art Festival, sounds like, that happens in Saskatoon.
Paved
I've
arts.
been really enjoying, attending for the past couple of years. I think that they're doing some pretty great groundbreaking work there in terms of audio art. But I hope that more people have a chance to check out some of the things that are happening. I don't get down to Regina as much as I wish that I did, but I'm certainly enjoying getting to know all of the artists and creative producers here in Prince Albert. I feel like I've been in my shell here in my little office in the gallery for the past, 7 months now? But now I'm feeling like I have a little bit more handle on things. I'm starting to reach out and have a little bit more time to get out there and meet people on my own time and see what they're working with.
So when you have a vacation, does that mean you just head just for a gallery? Is that your idea of a vacation?
That's kind of the default. The idea of vacation right now is just appealing in itself. Actually, I am thrilled. I have a hiking trip booked. I have 9 days of vacation, 7 days of backpacking in Mount Assiniboine Provincial Park in Alberta is on the books in the 3rd week of August. So that is after the 6th and final art camp. That is going to be me, and there will be no cell phone, no computers, no bed, tent and partner and hiking and mountains and trees. And I'm really looking forward to that. But most of the other time, yes, I do. If I'm, especially any kind of community that I'm in, usually it is checking out the art galleries, the museums, and the churches, and the commercial galleries too. But that's a lot of really what I do look for in vacation destinations. It's true, both here and abroad.
You just can't shake it off, can you? At some level, it's got to be their creativity.
It's there. I was fortunate that when I took a trip to Italy 10 years ago, the person that I was traveling with had almost exactly the same attention span for art and church architecture that I did. But we did find that we did have to tap out after like 10 or 11 solid hours, actually. But yeah, I usually do have to be dragged bodily out of the museums and galleries at closing time. But I am fortunate most of the time to have traveling companions that will let me indulge that part of myself. Right. And so, yeah.
Well, thank you for indulging me here today with all these adorable little children. It's amazing work that you're doing.
I hope so. I want it to be. I feel that it is. We had spoken about whether you would be able to perhaps come and interview the seniors at one of our outreach programs yesterday. And yesterday we ended up just by, fluke, you never know what's going to happen, but having the most wonderful conversations with the seniors yesterday. And we were doing art, and we had 4 family members that had all come to visit their mom, right, who lived at the care home. And her 3 children, and then later her 4th child, who of course are now all grown up and have children of their own. And we were all sitting there together making art, and some of her children were reminiscing with their family friend who had also come to visit her at the home about the importance of art in his life when he was growing up. And they all admitted that it had probably been years since they had picked up a paintbrush, but there, with mom and her senior friends at the care home, we were all painting butterfly wings, close-up butterfly wings. They had an abstract quality to them with watercolor and oil pastel as a resist method. And we had printed out, Kayanna and Julie had printed out some beautiful, very colorful, high contrast images, right? It's a little bit easier for some of the seniors if they're losing their vision to be able to see. Had printed out these beautiful butterfly images, and so we were taking inspiration from the colors and designs of their wings to create these close-up versions of butterfly wings. And that was a pretty good time yesterday, and so I ended up staying an extra hour there. That was quite wonderful. But I did have a lady, and I almost teared up. This is a lady named Cecilia. This is a shout out to Cecilia as one of the most dedicated and compassionate and enthusiastic volunteers here in the care homes in Prince Albert. And she made sure to tell me at the end of the program just how much she had enjoyed it, and talked about how much she loved doing it and that she could see the joy on the other people's faces. And so that was pretty rewarding. And I do frequently get that sense of reward in my job. And I am fortunate to be employed at the moment full time in this position. And that's an absolutely beautiful thing. Hope it continues, right?
They say do what you love. You're doing it.
I am doing it. I'm trying to do it. I'm doing my best to try and do the best job that I can at it. And I am so fortunate to have amazing coworkers, board members, and community members and supporters in the community here and around the province to be able to do it. And so,
well, they're pretty fortunate to have you too.
I'm pretty happy. But thank you so much for coming in and talking to us. You have to pry this microphone away from my cold dead hands.
That's all right. Thank you, Lana.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. The SaskScapes podcast is created and hosted by Kevin Power for Sask Culture. Funding to the cultural sector is provided through the Saskatchewan Lotteries Trust Fund for Sport, Culture and Recreation. For more information, visit iheartculture.ca and saskculture.ca. Music for SaskScapes is provided by Saskatchewan-born singer-songwriter Jeffrey Straker. There's no end to the stories to be told. So, until next time...